What's up, everybody? We back for another favorite segment of the podcast, Car Conversations and Confessions Part 4. And we have a special guest, and we're going to let her introduce herself right about now.
My name is Arizbeth, and I am ready to answer all your questions. I'm not sure if I'm ready to confess anything.
You in the car, so we got to open up.
Oh.
You know how this goes.
No, I'm kidding. I'm an open book. I'm ready.
So just to start it off, like how has this year been treating you, and what's your New Year's resolutions for next year, for 2025?
So this year has been great. There's been a lot of moving forward with projects that have been kind of just a thought, and now I've been able to put some actual work into them, so I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
New Year's resolution, I'm not really big on those, to be honest with you.
You don't want to jinx it.
A part of me also feels like if you're gonna do something, you gotta start when the momentum happens. You can't wait until New Year's to start something.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta do it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta build towards it.
One of the things that I wanted to work on this year in particular, I didn't wait for like January to happen, but I really wanted to work on like self-awareness. And building that, being aware of how I act around like my friends, and if I am a good friend or not.
Like build like family friendships, like working on that maybe.
Making them deeper.
Which most people don't work on.
Right.
They just leave it how it is.
Right.
What's your nationality? Where you from? Stuff like that.
I was born in Mexico. My
Okay.
mom is Mexican. My father's Puerto Rican. So we moved to San Diego when I was like 6 years old. I grew up in California. Came to New York when I was like 22.
22. I mean, you look you 21 right now. Like, what do you mean? You going backwards? Like, what were you doing? You reversing?
Well, thank you.
No, I mean, we reversing. Well, what made you come? What made y'all come to New York?
Should I tell you? Okay, fine. I guess I have to be honest. I came here with my ex-husband. I was a married 22-year-old.
Oh, wow.
He was, or is, I believe, still in the Marine Corps. And he got recruiting duty. So we came here. He's from here, so 6 months later, we broke up. Like, he just went back to hanging out with old friends. It put a lot of... Actually, he changed with me, too, Like, we came, when we were in San Diego, he was super, like... What's the word? He was never like a restrictive or jealous person. When I moved here, he changed completely. I had to tell him like where I was going, what I was doing. It was like weird. So a lot of those things, and we were young.
How old were you when you got married?
I was 22, so maybe when we moved to New York, I was like 23, 24.
You fresh out the box, man.
Yeah, we were both very young. He's only like a year older than me, if that. Maybe 9 months, something like that.
And how did your parents? What did they say for you when you were getting married this young? They didn't say anything.
Well, I was raised in a Christian family, super conservative. Most people from like the apostolic assembly background do get married very young, but he was not. So my dad did throw a fit. There was a big fight.
Wow. You taking his little girl from him. I mean, I can understand that.
It was bad. It was really bad.
So how was... Okay, you were so young. So before that, how was growing up for you? Like, do you have siblings? Was your father involved? Your mother involved? Both parents? How was it?
Yeah, I do have siblings. We are a total of 6.
Sheesh.
My parents have 5. It's me. I have a half sister, and then there's a set of twins, a boy and a girl, fraternal twins. Another sister and my brother, 10 years apart. All of us within a span of 10 years.
Yeah. And your whole life, they raised you. You grew up with them.
Yes,
all in one house.
All in one house. Well, my half sister would come every other weekend and maybe a month in the summer or something like that. She lived with us when she was 16 for her, what is that, junior year of high school?
Yeah, 16 is junior.
Yeah, junior year of high school.
11.
And I think she did 2 years with us, and then she went off to have babies herself. She had kids before me.
Oh, so y'all moving. So, what? How did your parents discipline y'all, like when y'all bugged out and started acting crazy? Because I know so many people, tempers gonna start flaring growing up in the same house. Like, how did they discipline y'all?
That's a so I can't remember my father like actually hitting us or anything like well me and my sisters. He did hit my brother. My mom used to hit us all the time.
Wow.
I think she was a little bit frustrated with life. I mean, having 5 kids is hard, and my dad is not. It's very stressful, and my dad's not like the easiest person to get along with. So she lashed out a lot with us. But my dad just kind of, he didn't have to hit. We were all afraid of him.
And do you have kids of your own?
I do.
How many children?
2. I have my daughter's 14 and my son is 11.
Oh, those are some big people right there. They get jobs now. They ain't kids no more. Like, about to start college next week and stuff. And you had those with your husband?
No.
So who would you have the kids? Would the kids come with?
So maybe. Oh my God, this is a crazy story.
We got time.
So I said 6 months after I moved here with my ex-husband, we separated. I wanted to go back home, but I had a job and they offered me more money to stay. And then I did get a second job, so I figured it out. I stayed. We stayed married because he was in the Marine Corps and he would make extra money for being married. I was happy with the free healthcare. So we didn't think a divorce was like, a legal divorce was something to look into just yet. It wasn't until I got pregnant with somebody else 2 years. Let me see.
So you were like 24, 25?
No, I'm sorry. I'm making that up. I had my daughter at 27, so I got pregnant at 26, right? Something like that. So some years later, I get pregnant, and I told him in the beginning of the pregnancy that I wanted to make actually before the pregnancy, that I wanted to make the divorce legal, and he gave me a hard time. So I ended up having to call his chain of command and asked for and let them know what the situation was. So they were forcing him to pay me $1,000 a month.
Like child support, basically.
Not child support, because we didn't have kids together. It was so what you get extra money for being married, like a lot of money. I think he was getting like maybe over $2,000 more just for being married. When we were getting separations pay, because by this time he was already in California.
That's a scam, all right.
So right, he was getting a lot of money. So when I called his chain of command and told them what the situation was and that he wasn't giving me the divorce, they made him, because he was supposed to be giving me money anyway, so he had to send me $1,000 every month, and obviously he started moving forward with the divorce papers. My divorce went through on the exact date that my daughter was born.
Oh wow!
Like the weirdest
goes
thing
hand in
ever.
hand.
Yeah. So it was like a weird coincidence. Yeah.
And the way you were raised by your parents, does it have an effect on the way you raise your children? The way you discipline them, stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Like how do you even discipline children in 2020? How do you even do that now?
Well, I definitely did not hit.
Yeah.
I had a lot of guilt issues. Well, one, I felt like, I was trying to figure out what the purpose of hitting was, right? Like I was like, how did it benefit me? What did it do for me? I think, again, I know that there are parents who do it, because you can't tell people not to do that, right? A lot of people think that's like normal, and it's in the Bible, so you're supposed to, so you can't say like that's wrong. But I couldn't figure out how that, and their dad actually did spank, but like it was just like nothing hard, nothing crazy, and it made sense as like how he would do it. I never did it. I didn't have the heart to do it.
He grew up probably.
Yeah, and then later on, I realized that talking to them made a bigger difference, right? Having a conversation with them and explaining to them. Like I remember my son had a little issue when he was like 3 years old. He used to hit his sister, and my daughter wouldn't hit him back because she's the older one, and she was always like afraid to hit back, but he kept doing it. So I would put him in timeout. I said, go to your room. By this time, the father of my kids and I were not together anymore, so I was on my own with trying to figure this out. So I would send him timeout. It happened like 3 times. By the 3rd time, he was like, okay, I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Like, he didn't care, and I was like, okay, this is doing nothing. So I did hit him that time. I took him to the shower, and I remember I spanked him, and I told him, you can't do that to your sister. And he's crying. He's like, how are you telling me not to hit her when you just hit me? So,
that's where they get it from. Yeah, see?
Well, so I said to him, well, I just wanted you to know how it feels, because what you're doing is not right. So then we switched back to the conversation, and I said, why do you do it? And he says to me, I just get really angry and my brain tells me to do it. And I said, okay, so who's in charge, you or your brain? And that switched something inside of him, and he said, I'm in charge. And he never did it again. So that conversation helped a lot more.
And what type of life outcomes do you want for your children in this crazy world? Like, what would be the ideal situation for them when they grow up? Like, what do you want out of them? What do you want them to accomplish and stuff?
I think for me, the most important thing is for them to find love. For them
where?
To find a spouse, to find a life partner, to find someone that they can give love, someone they can give love to and receive love from, and have,
For both kids, you want that?
Yeah.
So what about, you don't want them to, like, careers, anything like that?
I don't think that, I think that I want them, of course I want them to be successful and figure out how to invest their money, how to move their money. I don't think that's necessarily a career goal. Like, I don't.
You just want them to be successful, like make money, be successful.
I want them to know. I'm gonna teach them what to do with their money. I think what is it? Financial literacy is super important.
It is.
And I tell them all the time, education and school are just to get you moving, right? Like, you go to school to network, you go to school to make friends, you go to school to learn how to speak to people, how to treat people, how to be treated. Social skills.
Most kids don't have.
Right. All of that stuff. It's important. It is nice when somebody knows their history and understands, like, political science or whatever. But or in math or whatever, it makes you sound smart. It gives you something to talk about. But what's more important is how, having the emotional relationship that you have with money is what's gonna make you successful in life.
Okay, you seem like you got it mapped out for them. So, how's back to you? How's the dating scene treating you nowadays in this generation, 2024? Because it's not like how it used to be.
No.
Not like how it used to be. How's dating treating you right now?
God.
Be honest too. Don't play around.
So I think at my age is all the more difficult because the pool just keeps getting stranger and stranger. Everybody just is like, they're set in their ways. They're so angry or like just there's so many
vengeful.
Yeah, so many crazy, or they're just expecting things to go a certain way all the time. I think subconsciously even, right, where they think they know what they want, and once you start getting into like a more serious the more serious parts of dating, like, everybody just puts their best when you're on your first couple of dates.
Of course, you're representative.
Yeah.
That's putting the act on.
Right. Once things start to get like deeper, then you start to see, like, the
true colors.
The true colors, and it really matches with a lot. It's crazy because it matches with like the patterns that they've had in the past. So it's something that I had to figure out for myself at one point, where I was like, I feel like I'm dating the same guy over and over, and so I had to realize that I was a problem, and I had to work on myself to make changes on myself so that I don't keep dating the same guy.
And do you think it's more difficult dating as a parent, as a mother?
Of course.
What makes it difficult?
It's very frightening to bring new people around your children. But at the same time, you want to know what the dynamic between them is going to be like before moving forward with this person or making it more serious. So you have to find a really delicate balance. Now that my kids are older, I feel like I feel more comfortable. When they were young, it was tougher, a lot more. Well, for me,
I can imagine.
Yeah, I know some women are like okay with, introducing the kids to men right away.
New people. And you don't want to keep introducing them to like a new man.
Right,
stuff like that.
right.
You gotta be protective and stuff. So would you date a man with kids?
Yeah.
No problem. No, it doesn't matter the age. Doesn't matter anything.
No, not at all. Actually, I think that I'm super open to. Oh well, I'm sorry. Yes, there is.
The age?
There is an age.
What's the restriction?
I would say somebody that has a 2-year-old or younger.
Infant.
Should not be in the dating scene.
It should be focused on a kid.
Yes, like there's the way that I see it, because I'm a woman. The way that I see it is that there is somebody, if he's out on a date with me, there's a woman at home with a 2-year-old struggling, and you should be making sure she's good right now. Not dating anybody else.
That he's on a date.
Yep,
that's true. And what if you really like a man, but your kids don't like him? Now what? So what's the situation? But he's a real good man. Like, you really like him.
Well, it would be hard.
Your kids don't like him.
My kids would like him. If
No. What would you do? You never know. You never know.
If I do believe that if my kids didn't like them, I would take that as a sign that he's not. He's not for me.
Like something's there that you're not seeing.
Yep.
Because y'all gonna look at him different.
Yep, absolutely.
Y'all look at two different things.
I think what we hope our kids. Well, I guess my mom would want that, right? Like if she didn't like someone, she would want me not to like them. But we tend not to listen to our parents.
We look at them different.
Right. Yeah. But our kids, and I feel like when you're younger, there's definitely more of like a sixth sense. So I trust their judgment. So
as a woman, do you think you have game? Like, because the man of your dreams could be just walking down the street. Like, do you think you have game? As a woman?
Now I do. I think I've learned a thing or two now. I've gotten the swing of things. My confidence level is much higher than it was when I was in my early 30s. I probably looked better in my early 30s, but my confidence was not up there. Now my confidence is a lot higher. I have game, yes sir.
I mean, you look pretty fresh right now. But so, if the man of your dreams is right there walking down the street right now, this is your only chance. He's like texting. He's like standing there texting. How would you get him?
Damn.
How would you get him?
Well, if he's texting,
it's your one chance. It's your one shot.
Okay.
You got game. You said. Right?
So it's not about looks, though. You
gotta
tell me something else about this guy.
That's initial. Nah, all you see is him standing right there. He look in shape. He look fit. Like he's like your type. He's right there. Like initially, it's about attraction though. Like, how would you get his attention? Like, what would you do? How would you get him? As a woman.
Well, I mean, if he's just texting.
Yeah, like he's just standing there, like minding, like you're not even like paying attention.
Okay.
And you're looking at him like, oh my god, like who is this?
Like I gotta talk to him.
Like adios mio. Who's this? Like what? Like you know what I'm saying? Like.
Okay, so I would say I have an emergency. I need a phone. Can I please use your phone?
Is that so?
Okay, that's a good one. Because obviously he's gonna be like, oh, okay, here you go, and then just start it from there.
Of course.
Okay, that's a good. See, ladies, we trying to help y'all out too. That's a good one.
You gotta make a move. That's one thing I've learned. You gotta be the one that makes the move. Don't let them pick you. You gotta pick them.
Exactly. That's how you get rid of the unwanted ones. I can say that. That's how you. Would you rather be love bombed by a man or rather trauma bombed with a man? If you know what the terms mean.
I know what they mean, but let me just clarify. So you said, would I rather be loved bombed?
Yeah.
Or trauma bombed?
Yeah.
No, I would rather be love bombed.
Love bombed. So the words of affirmation, that's your thing.
Yeah.
Like lovey-dovey. So you a lovey-dovey type of.
I am.
Hopeless romantic type.
Absolutely, 100%.
So would you rather get your feelings hurt or your time wasted? on the
My
negative
feelings
side.
hurt.
Because time, you don't get that back, right?
Right.
Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense. And we all gonna get our feelings hurt
Yep.
regardless. So it's like,
my feelings get hurt every day.
don't we all? Don't we all?
One way or another.
And what are your hobbies? Like, what puts a smile on your face? Like during the day, what do you like to do?
I love to write.
Happy places, stuff like that.
I love to write. I love to go to the gym. I love spending time with my children. I have one friend that she melts my soul. Every time we talk, it's just wonderful conversation. So I love being around her. In particular, for now, I feel like that one person that's like your person that you love to be around changes throughout life. Right now, she's one of my happy places. I just have to throw that in there. I don't know.
Yeah, she's gonna see this. She's gonna appreciate that.
Sally, it's you.
Perfect. She's definitely gonna see it.
And you know, I enjoy my job. I want to say, like a part of me, so I talk to people every day. I'm in sales, and there are moments that are pretty awesome. You know, I'm just getting to talk to different people and new people. I have to run credit applications, so I ask a lot of personal questions. So it's fun. I do enjoy my.
Yeah, so keeping that social interaction going, because it seems like it's dying slowly.
Yeah.
Surely but slowly. But so you said gym. What got you? Because I see you on the gram going crazy. What got you into the fitness world? Like what initially got you into it?
I have. So I used to work at the YMCA.
I see you going hard like every day.
Well, I guess I can start with my dad was a professional boxer.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, like I saw him like work with his working at staying fit always. So that's number one. I was a pretty fast runner in school, and I was
track.
I never ran track, but I'm talking about like 5th grade, I was like the fastest girl in school. So it gave me like a sense of pride, and I always felt like, okay, this is like kind of where I fit, right? Like I'm like that girl that like the overachiever when it comes to like physical activities. Yeah. But I want to say, as far as like lifting, I need to weight lift all the time. Was when I started working at a YMCA, and this lady, she was a personal trainer. I would see her every day, super happy all the time, lived a wonderful life, gave great example of like how to be an excellent woman. And she looked fantastic. So one day we're talking about like, you know, her regimen and what she does, and then she says her age. In my mind, I was like 19, 20 years old. In my mind, she was 35. And 35, you know, that's a grown up. So I'm like, she's a grown up, so she's 35, right? 61 years old. Really? She was 61 years old. And I said, what? What do you do? She's like, it's you have to weight lift and you have to do this. And she was the first person that taught me how to do that. And I went in. I didn't eat properly for bodybuilding though until I want to say 2020. Then I started matching my workouts with my nutrition, and that made a world. So
you've been doing this. You've been doing this for basically your whole life. Fifth grade.
Oh yeah. Moving my body.
You're like 10 years old. You literally 10 years old, and no, health is wealth. I try to tell people, man, stop being lazy. Because right now, people don't even know. They think you underage right now. That's just health is wealth. I'm telling you, you gotta keep it up. And like, what's the fitness goal? Like the ultimate goal?
Longevity. To be able to walk and wipe my own ass when I'm like
no assistance.
Exactly. Forever, like for always. I wanna like
no back problems and stuff like that. And do you compete like competitions, fitness competitions?
I do.
Miss Olympia?
No, I wish.
That's tough.
No, that is so I compete for in a federation called NPC. They're not professionals. It's not the professional version of it. There's IFBB is the professional version of it. One. I think I started the bodybuilding journey a little bit late in life, so it's going to be really hard for me to build the density and the type of muscle that it's required to become Miss Olympia. But
that's why you gotta do the extracurricular, the extra little injections and stuff like that.
No,
that's what they all gotta do.
That's exactly what everybody keeps telling me, and I refuse, because the reason why I work out is to stay healthy, and that is not healthy.
Yeah, it's like drugs, like a drug addict, basically.
Yeah, no. So I'm totally against that, 100% against that. Sorry, guys.
And would you, because we talk on fitness, would you date a man that you meet in the gym?
Of course.
You would?
Okay, no. So that was a hard no for me forever.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like against, like, you know, this is my sacred place. I'm not going to talk to somebody at the gym. Mm-hmm. Gym crush stays a gym crush forever, right? Mm-hmm. But
True.
It happened.
Okay.
So now I can't say that I wouldn't, because it happened.
But I know you see like TikTok, all the creep videos going around of men like looking through the mirror, and then the woman sees him and he's a creep, and then putting him on TikTok and stuff like that. How would a man, if he's romantically interested in you, how would you recommend that he even approach you? Or like what she
Don't
say
approach me. I will approach you.
Okay, that does make sense.
Yeah.
So if he's not, you'll give him like a signal, kind of. You'll be like, can you pass? Are you using that? And then you just go
right.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, I get that a lot. Okay, maybe I gotta start.
Yeah, that's a sign.
Okay,
that's
I didn't know
sign.
that. So then, yeah.
Or can you spot me? That's a sign.
Yeah. That's a big one. Even though you got it yourself, you already know what to do, but you're still just gonna say it regardless. Okay, so basically, you're gonna pick him. He shouldn't have to. Just look for the signs, basically.
Look for the signs. It is a I feel it's funny because people talk about this, right? Like they're like, one, it's a sacred place. You're going in there to like zen, focus, and zone out and whatever. But also, like, you're kind of like in your underwear, right? Like
that's the thing too, because it's like now he's approaching you, and damn near in boxer briefs is like, what do you? Like it's kind of weird. It's like why he approaching you. It's very obvious.
Exactly.
Like, was he gonna talk about the weather? Like you know he's looking for. Like,
right. So I think that it should stay to, like, you should just wait for the open sign. There are some women who are super shy, and I say that because I was definitely that person.
A lot of women are like that.
Where I liked someone, and instead of looking at them, I would look away. So
that happens a lot. Yes,
yeah.
That happens a lot. Yes.
So I would say what would have helped me back then, I guess to help the guys out, right? What would have helped me back then is if somebody were to wait till I was done working out, my jacket and coat is on, and I'm on my way.
Run down on you.
Yep. Just feel that.
Parking lot or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Because sometimes when you focus, you don't feel like talking.
Yeah, no, exactly. Don't ruin my... And then I'm just going to, like, look at you different, you know?
Like you too thirsty, too aggressive?
No, just like you were interrupting my workout, and clearly you don't care about my personal space, my goals, my mental...
or his own goals. Or his own goals.
Or your own... Yeah, you're here for the wrong reasons or whatever. Yeah.
No, that's true, because you could be working out, you could be locked in, right? And that one conversation could turn into a 30-minute conversation. That means you just lost 30 minutes. Your adrenaline went down. Everything just...
that hurts me so much.
Now you hungry.
Yep, I hate that.
That's true. So give me an example. Just give me 3, because I know you could probably give me 100. Give me 3 green flags in a man to where this is a good man. This is a legit man I could go with. Like 3 green flags. Good quality.
Okay, so the first one is pay attention to what kind of questions he asks.
Mm-hmm. Meaning what? Like, what do you mean? Elaborate.
So if a man asks you, like, there's a big difference between, hey, how are you? Mm-hmm. And what is your biggest fear?
Okay.
You know? That's
like
somebody
deep thought provoking.
Somebody who's like trying to really get to know you is gonna ask you questions that may feel intrusive. Mm-hmm. But if you guys are dating and you're both already expressing interest in each other, I think those questions are a big green flag. Mm-hmm. The other one is if he asks about what do you want for your future. If he's
like we do on the podcast.
Yeah, like But if you're dating someone and they're asking like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you, women are taught to ask these questions. I don't think men are taught to ask these questions. So if they're
men think something else, that's why.
Right. So if they're asking you those questions, then that means they're thinking about a future themselves. So that's a big green flag. One more is gonna be, he remembers what you say.
Oh, like you said something and he remembers. Oh, I remember you said, and it's like, oh, he paying attention, like that.
Oh my God, I love it
Pay attention.
when somebody brings back like, so you were just having a casual conversation about like, well, I really hate it when people do this and this and this and that, and then like 5 days later they're like, oh, this happened and reminded me of you because you said that you hate when people do that. And you're like, oh my gosh.
Well, you said you like something and he buys it for you. I remember you said you like this and then.
Oh, that, of course, that one. But I went with the negative one too, because that's important when they remember what bothers you or what you don't like, and they're cautious to, not do that or prevent you from having to go through a bad time.
Okay, so that's the good. That's 3 green flags. Now give me 3 red flags. Now just 3, because I know how it goes. So me, we can name 500 right now.
Yeah.
Just 3, like 3 top or main ones where you like, oh no,
okay,
no, this ain't it.
Yep. So I'm gonna say the number one, when they show any signs of jealousy.
Can that be a good thing?
No. And I used to think that. My father's super jealous and super possessive.
Your fault.
And so I spent a lot of time choosing men that show signs of jealousy.
Resembled your father, basically.
Well, I didn't know that I was because it resembled my father. At that time, what I thought was like, well, if he's jealous, that means he cares. If he acts like he doesn't care. So it was like almost like a way of testing, right? Oh, I'm gonna go out with the girls, or I'm gonna meet my guy friend for coffee. If I got no reaction, I would assume that he didn't care. Now it's like, and if he was like, oh, I don't like that, or why, or who are you going with, or whatever, or asking a million questions, I would think like, oh, well, he cares. So I feel like I've learned my lesson. I don't like that. That's a big red flag for me.
Okay, that's 1, 2 more.
And when they are competitive with you.
That's kind of crazy. You're trying to compete with a woman. Men, you should never compete with a woman. Please, never compete with your woman.
It happens.
Insecurity, probably.
It happens.
Low self-esteem.
Yep, low self-esteem. It happens a lot. That's a big red flag. Like what?
That's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you one that was a little crazy. Like, so I was out. It was a big group.
Story time.
It was a big group of people, but there was my love interest or somebody I liked. We're all out together. We liked each other, let's say. We both liked each other. Mutual liking, but we're still like in the talking phase. So he walks away and comes back with a drink and says, oh, somebody just bought me this drink. He said a man bought me this drink. So I was a little confused of like how to react to that, because I'm like, if it would have been a girl, then I obviously I would have had to react. Like, why would you take a drink from a girl, right? But because it was a man, it was kind of like, well, that's weird. I don't know. I don't even know how to react to that.
How do you react to that?
I guess you got a free drink, whatever. So then I step away. I went to the bathroom. I had a drink with me. I put it to the side. I asked my friend to take care of it for me. I go to the bathroom, and when I come back, I grab my drink, and the same guy goes to me, oh, did somebody buy you a drink? Did you just came back with a new drink? Somebody bought you a drink? And to me, that felt like, is he competing with me? Like, is he trying to see who gets the most free drinks? I don't like this.
That's kind of sus. That's kind of sus.
I agree.
He's trying to compete. No, that's a weird way to compete. I was thinking about like job and salary and money. He competing. He's trying to be a baddie, basically.
Right. Oh, you're right.
Like, what?
That's even more, right? But also, like, I've in that area as well, right? Like, if you come home with a story about how like, oh, sales went great today, and then they're telling you a story about how you know, I'm like, can I have my moment
Trying to
and
one
shine
up. Trying to
first?
one up, right?
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
say
that's not
congratulations first.
cool. That's not cool. And then I guess one more.
One more. Oh God.
One
When
more
they
red flag.
obsessively talk about their ex.
Oh, of course. Nobody should be. That's on either side.
That's true.
Leave it in the past. Past is the past.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true. So let me ask you a question. What's your what's your definition of love? LOVE.
My definition.
Your personal definition of love.
My personal definition of love is God is love.
God, G-O-D, you said?
Yes, God is love. But are you talking about like Eros love, right? Love between a man and a woman.
The word LOVE. What's your personal definition?
Yeah.
You could go any direction you want to go with it.
Yeah. So my personal definition is God is love, right? God teaches us how to. He modeled for us what we're supposed to. That we're supposed to love each other. Love is a force that anybody can tap into. You can, for example, you should love a stranger, your enemies. Like, now what we do, like the action that we take based on that love differs depending on the type of relationship that you have. But you should always, and love is God. It's a fruit of the Spirit. It's something that's inside of you that you do everything with love and life is going to be good for you. You work with love, you serve with love, you work out with love. All of it, everything has to be love, and life is going to be good. Yes.
Well, that's. I mean, that was off the top of your head. That was kind of solid right there. I mean, I don't know. I just came out of nowhere with that question. That's kind of crazy. So, when was the first time you said the word "I love you" to somebody, anybody? First time you said "I love you"
to like a man.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, my first boyfriend, I was
what age?
19. I was 19 when we started going out, so maybe I told him I loved him when I was like 20.
What made you say that? Like what happened that made you say I love you?
I thought we were gonna get married.
Oh, you love then.
Yes,
19?
yes.
I was thinking about careers and shit.
Oh no. Well, okay, so I told you I was raised in a super conservative family. This guy, he came from a wealthy family. I was going to college, but one of the reasons why we broke up was because he was very like, I'm so proud of you that you're gonna have a college degree, but I don't want you working. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not gonna work when we get married. So that's one of the big reasons why we broke up. He was very controlling. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought he was yeah, I thought we were gonna get married. We did a lot of stuff, but we never had sex because he wanted to marry a virgin.
Sheesh. You Jehovah's Witness or something like that?
No, Christian, like, well, no, but he didn't do it for that reason. He did it because he wanted to marry a virgin. He wanted me to be a virgin when we got married.
He's just y'all on the same page. Y'all compatible as hell. That's the case.
We were when we're not together now. So
times change, generations, decades after decade, and then when you said I love you, did he say it back?
I'm pretty sure he said it first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, you just reacted then. All right, I hear you.
No,
I hear you. You just reacted. All right.
Not. I didn't say it right back to him after he said it to me. Mm. I think for me in the past the love word is big. You don't just say that to anyone. Even if you can love a stranger, right? To say I love you to someone in a relationship, it could be misleading if you're not there, right? So one of my big things is I have to hear it first. I know that's not good, but I have to hear it first before I could ever say it to that person.
Yeah, that's kind of. I never heard that one before. All right, so that was the first time. When was the last time you said I love you?
To someone?
Yep.
Oh God.
This morning?
No. I want to say April 2023.
What year is it? 2 years ago? Oh, a year ago. Last year. Mm-hmm. Who was this? Who was the random person? Who was this character?
No, we were in a relationship for
how long?
2.5 years.
And what made you say it? Like,
well, I mean, that's the last time I said it to him, right? But the first time I said it to him, and it just came out. So it was funny.
It's natural.
It was actually, and the funnier part is that he didn't say it to me first.
It was
I
natural.
just thought about that. Yeah, I forget exactly what it was.
He cooked for you or something like that?
No, we were literally like, I think he was leaving, and I was like, okay, I'll see you later. I love you. And I gave him a hug, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that.
He said it back?
Yeah, so he just looked at me and he was like, what? Oh my God. He's like, I love you too. And I was like, you don't have to say it. It's okay.
And where is he right? Where is he now?
He's living life.
Hey, aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Yeah. I mean, we broke up in good terms. It was not a bad breakup. Actually, that was one of my best relationships. There was a lot of room for both of us to grow. I believe we grew a lot. But there was just no...
Chemistry?
No. Chemistry was there. Everything was there. There was no... I couldn't see a future with him.
I hear a lot of women say that all the time.
Oh, no, but there's a big reason. I'm almost embarrassed to say why.
Well, no, say it. We open. Everything in NYC, we open. You got to say that.
He was a lot younger than me.
How old? Oh, you're on your cougar shit now. Well, how much years? Like 20, 30? How old are you talking? 10 years?
No.
How old is he? Let me just say that.
I don't want to say.
Nah, you got to say it. You right there. You right in front of the water.
Oh my God.
Just take a sip.
Okay. When we broke up, he was 24.
24. Oh, so you not playing. Young whippersnappers out here, man. So where did you find him? Like GameStop? Or where you met him at?
No.
Where you was at? Toys R Us?
Stop.
Where you met him?
At the gym.
Oh, see? People fall in love in the gym. So it's probably the aesthetic that drew you in, because younger people, they be...
Yeah, no, yeah. I'll be honest. Like, I didn't... for me, it was like, it was going to be a summer thing. I was like, let's have fun this summer. What's your name? I didn't really think it was going to turn into a whole relationship, which is why I feel like you kind of know or set yourself up in the beginning, right? Like in the beginning, I was like, this is going to be a fling. So when we tried making it a relationship, my mindset was still stuck on like, how is this not going to work? Like there's no way like this is going to work like ever. And
then it started working.
We started I want to say our friendship grew more than my belief for the actual relationship to go long term. So ultimately, like I felt guilt all the time because I was like, eventually you're gonna want kids. And my biological clock is closing up. This is not gonna work. And he's like, no, I swear. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way what you want 10 years from now.
You're right about that. You're right.
So I had to let go.
Decision.
There was a lot of guilt. And me just waking up every day feeling like this is not right.
Because eventually he's gonna. Yeah, that's true. So you have to make the mature decision.
Yeah.
It probably hurt. That goes back to what I said about wasting time breaking hearts. Sometimes you got to break hearts to save time. So that makes sense. And then what was the best piece of advice anybody ever gave you in your life? The best piece of advice you ever heard?
Wow. I don't talk to a lot of people. No, I'm just kidding.
In life.
I don't know. I mean, I think... Okay.
The best piece of advice.
That's a hard one because I feel like I've gotten a lot of my life advice through books.
Okay, what advice did you apply? Like, how did you apply it?
Okay. I think it goes back to my definition of love, right? So I suffer from anxiety. A lot of people say that, but I literally have anxiety since I was like a little girl. So I realized that I moved a lot based on fear and not doing things because you're afraid, or not doing the wrong thing because you're afraid, versus not doing things out of love for someone or respect for someone changes everything. So when you move out of love, like when you move with love towards your projects and everything else, everything makes more, you do it with passion, right? Like, I guess my dad did say that to me when we were young. He had us cleaning the garage, and we were all upset because we're cleaning it, and he says, "You guys got to do it with love." When he said it at the time, it didn't make sense until I filled my brain up with what love means and came up with a definition myself. Now it makes sense, right?
Love plays a big part in your life.
It does.
What was the biggest lesson you learned in your relationships? The one with the 18-year-old, the one that, like, out of all your relationships, what was like the biggest lesson you learned just dating?
Okay.
A relationship?
My biggest lesson is that you can't go into a relationship hoping that person's gonna make you happy. You have to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You have to be happy and complete before, and you pick them better when you're happy and complete. If you're picking someone based out of fear of being alone, it's not gonna work out.
No, you're right. This is the same shit I be saying. You're right. You definitely not lying. So, all right, we about to get superficial. So, we about to build a bed, right? This is you building a man. It's not no teddy bear shit. You building a man.
Okay.
From head to toe, type of man you like. Had to be outside though. Outside.
Okay.
Like, be as superficial as possible. We do whatever we want over here. So build. So top of the head, hair, bald. Like what we looking at? What do you like? What do you like? Because they're gonna be watching. They're gonna see you. They're gonna be like, "Yo, Diallo, who is that?" This is for y'all. I do this for y'all. She gonna tell y'all what she like.
Okay.
Build a bit, head to toe.
So I like well-groomed hair.
Okay.
Somebody that can grow their hair and like
no
actually
baldies?
do something with it. I mean, I have dated baldies. We're talking about what I like, right?
Yeah, true.
Not what
true,
you end
true.
up with.
I'm just
Because those
throwing
are two
stuff
different things.
Throwing
that
stuff out there.
happens.
Throwing stuff out there. So you said hair that you could do up.
Yes.
You could style stuff like that. All right. So like skin tone, black, white, Hispanic, Middle East.
I would say my skin color maybe a little bit lighter or darker.
Okay.
I'm not into.
So that means multiple races.
Yeah.
Multiple races.
Yeah.
And then now, cause you in the gym 8 days a week and shit, like, so what does he have to work out?
Of course.
So what is you never date a man that doesn't work out at all? Like he doesn't work out. Like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. Like, you shut up.
So no, I mean, I think when I was younger, it didn't really matter, right? Because when you're young, like everybody kind of looks fit, even if they don't do anything.
McDonald's every day still.
Yeah, but now I had a situation where this man was, good looking, well put together, well dressed, finance guy, lots of money, super sweet, took care of like everything every time we went out. Like I would, if I said, I love Broadway shows. Okay, we're going to a Broadway show, and he buys tickets right away.
Got it.
All of that, and he was really kind. And then one day, once we're starting to get a little bit closer, like more comfortable with each other, let's say, he puts his hands around my shoulders, and I felt his stomach.
Oh no, that's a turn off for you.
And I was like, damn, I can't.
You gotta do them sprints, do them hit workouts.
So I tried. I liked everything else about him except for that. So yes.
Physical is important. I be trying to tell him it's not just about money.
I think also it's not just the look, right? If somebody works out, you know that again, like they're going to
Discipline.
They're right. there is right. It says a lot about their character, and it says a lot about how healthy they're gonna live. You know, if they're gonna be able to. What are the chances of them growing old with you? I want somebody that's gonna be able to grow old with me. Not somebody I have to take care of. Don't get me wrong. If it ends up that way, it ends up that way, right? We can't predict the future, but you want to increase the chances of being able to grow old with someone in a healthy way.
Yeah, I be trying to tell health is wealth, man. I be trying to tell them health is wealth, but a lot of people don't understand like fitness, working out is a lifestyle. It's not just something you do, because if you're working out, there's a mentality. Because if you're working out, your clothes you're gonna have to change. It's gonna be smaller clothes, what you eat, it's everything. The way you move, you go upstairs, you're not gonna be as tired. Like it's a lifestyle, but people, they're gonna have to switch their life. That's why when you let yourself go, it's hard to start working out in a later phase of your life, because there's so much new work you have to do. That's what I try to. That's true, but so all right, so you got to be in shape. Height. How tall are you?
I'm 5'2.5".
For real? You look a little taller when I saw you. Oh, that's I'm like, what? You like use my height when you nah, all right, it's 5'2". So what height he gotta be? What are we talking?
6'2".
Oh Lord, you're 6'2"? 6'2". That's a foot taller than you.
It's just
6'2".
It's just you feel more protected that way. That's all.
He can't be 5'3", taller than you though.
Listen, I didn't say you. You said we're getting superficial. I'm going for everything I like, right?
I'm trying to help y'all.
It doesn't have to be like that, but it's really nice if it's 6'2". Like that.
Yeah, that's utopia right there. That's ideal. So, but you said wait to protect you, but some short dudes be like, they get it in. They do what they do.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
They stocky and.
No, you're right, but I'm just saying there's something about like holding on to somebody's arm like this.
True. True. Women always,
looking up at someone, it just makes a world of difference.
It does something to women and stuff like that. So, the big one. How much does he have to make a year? How much minimum and then up, whatever, to infinity? What's the minimum?
So I'm not to date someone. I don't think there is like he has to make this figure or that figure. To live with someone, then we have to look at our finances.
How much we talking? Throw a number out there.
Not well.
$5. Like what we talking about?
I wouldn't say how much he's making. I want to know what he's doing with his money to make it grow. Because you can make $50K a year and know how to save money so that your retirement fund is really growing, versus somebody who's making $150K a year and they're splurging all of it and they got nothing in the bank. They got nothing saved in the bank.
We ain't trying to hear that. You just throw a number out there.
Don't believe me. You don't have to believe me.
I mean, some people, that does make sense.
I take care of myself. I'm financially stable. I take care of myself. My future is good, whether I have a man or not. So what he makes is not it's not a deal breaker. It's not. I could teach him how to make better use of his money.
I understand exactly what you're saying, but let's be realistic though. If a man is making 30,000 and he's good with saving money, he's still not gonna have enough to do what you want to do.
He could get another job to make more.
No. You picking a number right now. You just got to pick the minimum to infinity. Like, what's the minimum you got to make for you to be like, all right, yeah, I can take him serious.
Damn.
You can say save and do all of that. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. We trying to hear a number. We in New York. You know, ain't no game out here.
Yeah.
This ain't no game.
Okay, so like I said, dating is one thing. Living with someone is one thing. I think I can live with someone that makes minimum.
Mm-hmm. The lowest.
75.
That's above average. Okay. Okay. That's above average. A lot of people ain't making that, but some of us make more than that. But
like to not question it, right?
Yeah.
To not question it. It feels safe. I would say like I could probably work with 55. We could figure it out.
No, you ain't working with
There's gonna be a lot of I
don't believe that.
There's a lot of things that you could do to make it work with that, but I gotta know.
New York, after you pay your bills, that 55 turn to 25 real quick.
Yeah.
net worth, the money you actually getting,
but
taxes.
There's and also like the hustle potential in the person makes a big difference. So if they're making 55, but only working one job and doing nothing else on the side. That's disappointing.
Which is the majority.
That's disappointing.
That's the majority of men. They don't got nothing on the side. They go to work, go home.
I have something on the side. You gotta have something on the side. If you don't got something on the side, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot of. I try to encourage men to take risks. No risk, no reward.
Right.
But a lot of men just like, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing it. I'm good.
You have
complacent.
Exactly. And it's so if you're making 50, if you had a bad year, right? Because I can meet somebody who's making 45, 55 that year because they had a bad year, but I know that they have a failed business behind them. I know that they've tried this or it's gonna change my.
That's different, but that's above average. Most men, I'm telling you, most men, regular job, go to work, go home on Saturday, go party somewhere. That's it. That's like average, everyday men.
Right, and if you're out partying and drinking, then we got
living at home and shit.
No.
Living at home, though. Never want to move out. Never want to take a chance. But hey, I'm glad you opened up. So you said curly head, don't matter the skin tone.
I said curly hair.
Well, you said a good enough hair where he could style it. Yeah. You said 6'2". Yeah. You said 6'2". I mean, that's wishful thinking. And then you said at least 75,000, any race. I mean, that's gonna be pretty hard to find. But good luck. You can find him in the gym probably. You can probably find him in the gym. Go to Equinox real quick. You probably find him in there.
Damn, I gotta go to Equinox.
Equinox Gold's Gym or some shit. Like, you probably find him up in there.
The wrong gym.
And then punching the puncher bag and shit. But let me ask you, what was the worst date you ever been on in your life?
Ooh.
The worst date you ever been on in your life?
Okay, so.
Because you're only 21, so you haven't been living that long. So.
I can tell you a story.
Yeah.
I want to say, dating apps, right? They're scary as fuck, but you have to try something sometimes.
Yeah.
So I went on this date with this guy. So his job was, he told me he's a sociologist. That's his major. I majored in sociology as well. I was like, oh wow, this is great. And his job is he helps women that just came out of jail for job placement for women who just came out of jail. Has 4 daughters.
Sheesh.
No longer with the girl, whatever. So I'm like, okay, he's older than me, like a couple years older than me. We had great conversations. We go on the date. It was great. After we start drinking, he tells me a story about. So we're drinking and we're talking about God, and we're talking about how God works in mysterious ways. And he says to me, "Yes, I had a hit on this guy."
Oh.
And when it didn't work out, I took it as a sign from God, and I let him live.
How do you equate what the? He's Russian? He's Russian?
No. He was, I think, Ecuadorian.
Jesus.
Or some kind of
cartel.
Yeah, some kind of. I'm eating and drinking, and we're talking about God, and he tells me this story, and I was just like, oh my God.
It's the first date?
Yes.
You see what you're signing up for then.
Right. But it wasn't until after the drinks. So sometimes I'm like, I don't want to drink on the first date, right? Because I like to have like a
clear mind.
I want to know what's going on. But then sometimes you want to drink because you want to see what they're gonna talk about. Let's see what he opens up about.
And look what he opened up about.
Yes. So his story was basically he left his wife with the 4 kids, and he was dating some younger girl, and she started messing around with her trainer, and he put a hit on the trainer.
That's not the trainer. That's the woman for. What the? Looking at the wrong target.
But you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
It's a good thing that maybe for you that was an answer from God, because that shows you get out the way.
I couldn't wait for the date to be over. After I sobered up like this.
Yeah, you're not even having fun no more. What the? Now you worried about your life now.
Yeah,
your safety.
So
I never heard that before.
No, the next day he's like, "Hey, I had a great time. I want to see you again." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I got friend vibes."
Casper. Yeah.
No, I did not want to Casper him. I'm like, what if he finds me? Actually, it turned out his daughters went to the same middle school as my daughter. So
good thing you didn't ghost them.
Right.
Right. Like, oh, hey, what's up?
Yep. I was like, let's do this right.
So currently, because they're gonna ask me, are you single right now, and do you believe in marriage? Do you want more kids? Like, what's the situation looking like?
I'm in a pretty new relationship.
Fresh out the box.
Yeah, it's very new. I'm almost kind of hesitant to be like, oh yeah, I'm not single, right? Like, it's still like that phase where you're like, but I feel very secure about it, in the sense that I feel like I've grown a lot as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So this feels like I made a really good choice. I trust myself making this choice, and I feel like it's got a great potential.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other question? Do I believe in marriage?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe.
Still.
I still believe in marriage. I do. I've been married once before. I did not marry the father of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to get married before I move in with. Like, I don't want to just move in with someone. I want to be married.
Mm-hmm.
If I do move in with someone. My kids are.
More kids. You want more?
I don't want more, but I am not like
Opposed?
I'm not opposed, but I'll be honest. I'm 40. I'm about to be 42 years old.
Fresh out the box.
And no, I actually lost my right ovary last.
What? How does that happen?
So I had a cyst, and it was twisting. It got so big that it was twisting my ovary. I ended up in the hospital, and I'm actually really upset about it. But the doctor, it was a female doctor, which is really disappointing. Because after reading the report, I realized she did not have to do that, and I asked her to please leave that as a last resort. But she ended up taking out my right ovary.
So what does that mean? You can't give birth or something?
No, so I can, statistically, I can still get pregnant, right? So, I mean, everything functions as it's supposed to, but my chances of getting pregnant as a 40 and up woman are already low. Only one ovary woman goes even lower.
Mm-hmm.
And most babies statistically are conceived, come from, the egg comes from the right ovary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like a weird stat.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if it were to happen, it would be like a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
So I would want to keep the baby.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. That would be a miracle though.
Right. Right.
And then what's an example of a perfect life? Your perfect life. Like, hey, you have the perfect man. What's your perfect life?
Right. So if I have my perfect man, I do believe that being in a relationship adds so much value to your life. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I've been single for most of my adult life, mm-hmm. and I've enjoyed a lot of it towards, as I've become like a better person, I've enjoyed a lot being mm-hmm. single. But I do believe that having a partner is just it's a beautiful gift. So ideally, I would love.
Yeah, the right one, yeah.
Yeah, if you get the right one, absolutely. And I think you really have to be confident in who you are to be able to spot the right one. Because we'll settle for anything when we're desperate, right?
Yeah.
And it's just sadly the truth. So ideally, yes, I would love to be married. And I think, like, I've never invested in a home because I feel like women are taken advantage of as homeowners.
Yeah, you hear a lot of that.
So I'm afraid. So if I'm married, I definitely want a home, as long as our finances will still permit us to travel and have adventures as a family. I wouldn't buy a home if I couldn't afford traveling because I owned a home.
Yeah, you should be good because he makes $75K. So you should be good. You should be. That's good enough. Plus what you make. You should be good.
It should work out.
That's a good number you threw out there. I'm glad you kept it real too. Man. I'm glad you kept it real. So within life, I mean, you say you're 41. I don't believe you, but these 41 years of living, do you have any regrets? You have any regrets in life?
I can't say no, right? That's bullshit. I think people will say that. No, I don't.
People always say that. Yeah. That's why I asked.
Like, I wouldn't be who I am if I hadn't gone through those things. I think that my biggest regret is when I stopped looking for God in my youth. I think when I was young, I became comfortable with everything that I had, and I was like, okay, I don't think that I need God so desperately anymore. And I'll be honest with you, there was a big part of me that resented the whole Christian community because of how they treat women, or mm-hmm. they make us feel like second-class citizens. Just reading the Bible and reading, like, all the main characters are like men also kind of made me feel like, God, like, like you made me be born a girl. I don't know, like you have something against me, or. And then I started just questioning the whole God thing altogether, and I wanted to just kind of do my own thing without feeling guilty about anything. Mm-hmm. And that led to a lot of distraction. A lot. So that's like the biggest regret. Now, everything I did after that, I don't want to say I regret it because I had a lot of fun.
And you learn from those experiences.
And oh my God, I shouldn't say that. That's terrible.
Nah,
but
it's the truth.
I think that
it's free therapy right here. No judgment.
One of the things that that comes to mind is like, yes, you should repent of your sins. You should not regret them. Those are two different things, right? Because I feel like I did the things that I did, rebelling against how I was raised, and it's what taught me to accept how I was raised and embrace it, right? Mm-hmm. I did hurt people, so I regret the people. I regret the people. I regret hurting people, even if they hurt me. Mm-hmm. Like hurting back, like did not make my life better. It made it worse. I have a lot of guilt issues, and it just ate me up. Even I can't ever think like, well, they deserved it. It doesn't make me feel better about myself when I hurt other people. So I regret that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, as long as you learn from it, you can always grow and be a better person. Mm-hmm. It's never too late to get your shit together, man. I mean, that's pretty. You pretty much answered everything truthfully. You didn't hesitate. You didn't cry. You didn't get nervous. You didn't break down. I wish you would have cried. I tried to get you to cry, but it didn't work. Maybe next time. But no. Is there any way the people could reach out to you if they want to speak to you, get to know more about you, get in contact, anything like that?
Actually, yeah. So I have a couple of Instagrams. One of them. Put the main one. I would really rather you put the one. It's called Love. Well, the handle is love_is_and_act. Love is an act, mm-hmm. And that has a link to a blog that I constantly post stuff in, just life lessons and stuff like that.
Okay, and then so you're just gonna be in the gym going crazy? Cause I see you going crazy all the time.
Yes,
They make me like, yo, nah, I gotta be in the gym too, but I'll be like, I gotta do more.
No, the gym is everything. I love the gym. It's a passion of mine.
I'll be in the cold running and stuff like that. But we appreciate you coming out. Another car confessions.
Yes.
Part 4. Appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share. Thank you.
Yes.